Three, two, one. Oh, yeah. My goodness, what a lovely day today. Oh, the rain. Oh, butterfly. Where's a butterfly? Oh, another butterfly. I like butterflies. Oh, look at that bird. Oh, what was that? Oh, there you are. Oh, hi there. This is Andy EcoCat. How are we doing today? Yeah. So I lost my focus here. So we're going to just go ahead and work on this for a little bit before so I can get together. I have to do a little minor tuning. I think over here gotta put the sound up a little more. How's that? Oh. Anyway, being serious. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about climate change and my insights on a few things that are going on. You all know that, we're saying basically that the Earth is getting more and more hotter because of the carbon in the air. And lately we've been changing we used to say global warming, now it's climate change. Yes, it is getting hotter, and it's also getting colder. That's true. The winters are going to be colder, and the summers are going to be hotter. When it gets really, really hot, you have this melting effect, right? You have the glaciers. Just recently, I read in the paper where the world's largest glaciers just got formed off the coast of Antarctica. A big shelf just broke off. And that's the largest glacier ever to be on the planet in millions of years. And they're saying, let's see what happens when it melts. Now, glaciers are fresh water. Same thing in the Arctic. They're fresh Arctic. They're fresh water. So I've been saying for years what the problem is and how it's going to evolve, right? So I talk about the Gulf Stream a lot. I tell people that the Gulf Stream is what controls our weather, our change in climate from winter, spring, summer, and fall. Also with the tilt of the earth and a bunch of other things, but that's the main thing that governs the cycle. In the past, the way it's happened, we've had ice age, and we've had a warming period. Actually, we've had a warming period first, followed by the ice age. The last time, when I mentioned this before, and again, I'm sorry if I repeat myself, but there are lots of new people listening, so I always want to be clear what I talk about. The last global warming period was called the medieval warming period. That lasted for about 500 years. It was around 1300s. The last ice age was called the Little Ice Age. And that lasted approximately another 500 years. Now, and that happened mainly because in Europe, people were moving, were expanding. Europe was developing, so they were building more cities, cutting down more forests, making roads, and that's pretty much, around the world there was, in China and other places, some type of development also. So that alone increased the carbon dioxide levels to where it warmed up more because there were less trees to suck in the carbon dioxide that normally are produced by a variety of different things, not just man. And then that was followed by the ice age, because we always have an ice age followed by a warming period. The reason is real simple. Warming period melts ice. More water in the air, more water in the ocean, fresh water. So you have more water in the air. When wintertime comes along, it's going to have a very different winter. It's going to be colder, and maybe eventually as you get more and more water, it'll get colder and colder for longer and longer. So right now what we're having is a unique problem that hasn't been around in a long time, because it took the Earth millions of years to transfer the methane, because it used to be a methane environment, into an oxygen environment. Part of that was the way that the methane ended up in the permafrost. Okay, and also the carbon is too. So what we're doing now is, by destroying the topsoil, by our methods of farming, by our use of coal, by our use of putting more carbon and more methane in the air than ever before, of course, it's getting warmer. And in the past, we've talked about CO2 levels. And you're going to start hearing about methane levels. Because for the past 4 or 5 years, scientists were saying, well, we have a CO2 problem, but it looks like we may have a methane problem too, because the Arctic is now emitting methane. Patches of methane are coming up through the permafrost, and the melting of the permafrost is releasing the methane. And recently they started saying, well, look, there's other areas, just as soon as last year, guess what? Methane is coming out of the ocean off the coast, from California to Oregon. Different patches of methane are coming up. The last time that happened was 400 million years ago. 400 million years ago. And the water level was 30 feet higher. Now, the conditions may be right in the future for it to convert, to go back to an oxygen level. One of the things that helped was we had bacteria at that time covering the earth all over the place that ate methane and gave off oxygen. Gee, now there are only a few patches left on the planet, but scientists have figured out how to reproduce it. So anyway, the problem we have now is that humans and all living things cannot breathe methane any more than they could breathe carbon dioxide. But methane is even worse. Methane will kill all living things on the planet. So what we have to do, here's a solution, and of course scientists said 20 years before there's too much methane and carbon dioxide in the air for human beings to live. Now they're saying 13. And they're saying every year there seems to be more and more methane, more and more carbon dioxide. Methane is 40 times more heat producing than carbon dioxide is. So here's some solutions, very simple. First, we have to stop doing what is wrong. If your hands hurt from sticking it in the fire, it would only start to heal if you stop putting it in the fire. Silly, huh? You have to stop cutting down trees. You have to stop destroying the topsoil. You have to stop polluting the ocean. You have to stop putting plastic in the ocean and the soil and our food. You have to stop polluting with all these chemicals. You have to stop using fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides, fungicide, genetically engineered products which have chemicals in them. You have to stop using all this type of medicine that we are polluting and all this type of radiation we are polluting. Those are things we're going to have to stop. Stop using coal, stop using nuclear power. Think about what, being regenerative. What I mean to say is think about being sustainable when something regenerates itself. So we have to start planting trees, start cleaning the ocean, start cleaning the air, start cleaning the water. We need to protect the environment. These are very, very basic, simple things that we need to do. We need to work as an intelligent being on the planet. I recently wrote an article that basically said we are not the most intelligent being on this planet. Mycelium is. But we are fairly intelligent enough to come up with solutions to these problems. We can figure out a way to convert CO2 and methane into oxygen. We can. So we can still do this. We must stop fighting each other and work together. So that's my message for today. I'm going to be having a new message every week. Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. Bye. Ooh, music. Get some music. I like it. Where's the music? Music. my website, invisiblegardener.com, and in the top corner you will see where it says EcoCat.